Hi.
Hi, Poulomi, and hi, everyone. Welcome back to What Ginny Reads and the first book of this year. So, Happy New Year, and the
Happy New
first book is
Year,
here
everyone.
already.
Yeah, I am very excited today, honestly, actually, in
Ginny
fact.
is also very happy, although it does not appear as if Ginny is in Delhi, but it is very cold here, and so I'm geared up accordingly. Um,
Incidentally, even we in Bangalore also are wearing those light sweaters and jerkins inside. So it's
okay.
like this wintry feel. Of course, nothing compared to Delhi. It's much more pleasant here. But
Yeah.
yes, I mean, you can see people wearing warm clothes. Those 20 days in their entire year, what we wear, it's like that.
All right. So, Poulomi, we're very curious to know, like, how are you going to inaugurate this, episode, like this
Okay.
whole year on What Ginny Reads?
Okay, before I show the book, I am very excited for today's book and especially what it speaks about and the story about it. But just a little bit disclaimer, I think the whole of last year, from the time we started What Guinea Reads, if you recall, we had been doing more of children picture books. Right. Picture books are also participatory for the children in a way because even if they're early readers or are unable to read, they still can make out the story, and that's the entire purpose of picture books. But that does not mean that children's stories are limited only to picture books, right? There are chapter books, there are wonderful stories which us as parents, as educators, as adults can read and retell. And I think this year we will also focus on few such books which are extremely exciting and where I personally have felt the story needed to be told to the children or maybe read in parts over a period of time. So, without wasting much time, I bring about it's very recent. It just got released in the fag end of 2021, The Christmas Peak by J.K. Rowling. Another, and it has got some illustrations by Jim Field, who has done some lovely work. And I will tell the story. Before that, another disclaimer. I understand J.K. Rowling in the current context is highly controversial because of certain statements and stands that she has done, but that does not take away the fact that how good she is when she writes for children, right? The imagination and creating a world where every child will feel enthralled, excited, and empowered is something no one can take it away from her. So I think that much we need to give. We sometimes also need to dissociate a person's certain stand to the person's talent if they are not crisscrossing and intersecting with each other at this juncture. Saying so, now Christmas Peak. Okay. It also has got some illustrations like every chapter. So it's a chapter book, a big one. Uh, that these kind of black and white illustrations, but it's very interesting what the story is. So there is this little boy called Jack. Like every little boys and girls, his journey towards life also starts with this towel pig, like most of our kids have. There will be one toy, right? You almost grow up with it. We call it it's almost their journey to life with that, right? um, and so it was called the pig by the mother. He was small and he called it Dood Pig because he could not pronounce the, and it became DP. And such began the journey of DP and Jack, and an endearing journey where DP used to get lost and Jack used to find him. Like it's almost they were inseparable. Things happen in Jack's life. His parents get separated. Other things happen, but it is this pig where he finds all his comfort. It's almost ragged. I mean, anybody will see that why are you still with this dirty ragged old pig? But for a child, I think toys are not about how they physically look, right? It's also about the emotional journey that happens with them. One incident happens and Jack loses, right? And of course, he's in distress. Is like is not a word. He is miserable, and of course, someone comes and gives him another pig, which looks exactly like that pig, but it's a brand new pig, and how beautifully Rowling describes. He holds it and he can't find that smell, which is that old smell, a dust coming out of that pig. But that is what is endearing. That is what makes the toy that he longs for, and not something which is shiny and nice and neat and stuff like that. But however, it's Christmas Eve and magical things happen. So the Christmas peak and all the other toys in the midnight comes to life and says that, there is this land of the mist, right, where you have to go. And you may be able to recover if you go there on time. And thus starts the journey. Land of the Mist is almost like an allegory to Dante's Inferno. It's almost like hell with its different level, and finally you will come to heaven. So you have to have tickets to reach to different people will have different kinds of tickets. However, there is one station where it is missed just for a while. So those objects will have, a certain color of tickets, and the others are pushed further. And then there is a land of the waste, which is the disastrous land, and there is this giant, miserable, scary creature called the loser, right? And who is the loser? And it's also so deeply philosophical. I think even adults as parents, if you read it, will literally cry. But any which way the journey happens from one land to another, then there is land of the mist to the land of the beloved. Land of the beloved are the toys who are so beloved that they almost have an afterlife of their own in a way, right? And once you read it, you also understand what loss is. So at one point of time, it's also about this little boy trying to find the toy. It's also about his own journey to come to terms with loss in a way, right? When we are trying to find, and there are some beautiful places, and of course I'm not going to tell the end, but there are moments where the loser is almost going to grab hold of the objects which helped him in that land because he was not supposed to be there. And Jack then just says that no, 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 you can't, because they are still missed. So in the land of the lost, the only way to come back to is hope, and the hope of being missed, the hope of being of some value to someone somewhere, right? And then and that is so invigorating that when you hope, you can fight out everything that is there, right? That is not working for you. um, so I read out the story, and I almost told the story. First I retold it to my daughter, and of course then children obviously then try and find out. The first level is to what is most relatable is her oldest toy that she has received, and she has her own story, etc., about it. But layer by layer, I see every night she will ask me, now tell about that, now what happened, and how did you reach the land of the beloved, now what happens there. uh, there is one chapter, Shweta, and that is my personal favorite chapter, actually. So, give me one moment. Huh. So that is they. So in the before the island of the beloved, they also have another shining land where uh, what is lost. So the things which are lost are there. So there they have hope, pretense, power, uh, and these are the things. And pretense and power is still fighting. They're still hopeful that somebody will catch them. They said, listen, we can never be lost. If we are lost, then hope will also be lost, because it's the hope to fight us that keeps everything there. uh, but saying so, this entire, it's almost like an adventure, a roller coaster ride, a toy pig and a small boy who is going, and the love to get back what he holds dear is so intense. But however, he also comes to terms finally, that what is lost sometimes is lost, and from there, I think something new obviously comes in place. I feel it's a lovely story to begin the year upon, and otherwise also for children.
Yeah, it sounds. I don't know. I think I just kept listening to you, and I've just kept waiting for the end. So it
I
does
was
sound
trying to tempted to give that. No. I would really request people to get hold
yeah,
of it and read. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, indeed.
It sounds great, and it does sound like a great book to, I think, begin this year with, if you've not ended the last year with it. So thank you, Poulomi. Thank you so much for bringing this book. It sounds amazing, and I'm hoping either I will get it myself or somebody should gift it to me. Like if you're watching
Okay,
this.
I get the hint. Okay, it doesn't matter
All right.
actually. In
So
fact,
see you
but
next week, Pallavi, with another
sure.
book.
And next week also, I will try and bring something a little longer.
Mhm.
But once again, a very powerful story. In fact, right.
Great.
I
Thank you.
promise. Thank you
Thank you
so
so much.
much. Bye. Have a nice time. Stay safe. Stay healthy, everyone. Thank you. Bye.
Yeah. And Happy New Year, everyone, again. Bye.